Did you have any liquidity problems? And explain your answer, please.
Liquidity?
Yes, liquidity problems.
What do you mean by liquidity?
I'm sorry, it's a liquid asset, for example. So
we had to get some loans. We had one period we needed some money, so we had to get some loans, and they were quite easy to get and quite reasonable. So that helped us because we needed the cash to buy the stock. So that's what we did in that month. We had a loan.
and can you give some explanation, please?
Well, we required stock, so we knew that the market was going to be. We thought we had a great market share and it was increasing, so we needed to have more stock. So we took a loan which allowed us to generate a lot more stock, which we did sell most of it, but without that loan we wouldn't have been able to meet that perceived demand.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the candidate, well, Nick was struggling with his answer. It's obvious that he did not know what liquidity meant. In this case, we could go only as far as maybe giving a prompt like the one I used, a liquid asset, and that's just a prompt. It might jog the memory. Again, we do not know whether the candidate is nervous, if there's a mental block, and that prompt is just to try to get that little bit of familiarization with something. Okay. Unfortunately, Nick went on to talk about loans and getting cash easily and what have you not, and it really doesn't answer the question at all. Now, although you know that the candidate cannot answer the question, you should still proceed with the second part. And in this case, he has forgotten to answer the second part, of explain the answer, and you should continue with it as though it was, the answer was fine. So asking for the explanation is important, so as not to give away anything about whether the candidate answered the question well or not. Obviously the score is 0. You cannot answer the question. Alright, and the final question is, what are the main components of the balance sheet?
Balance sheet. The income, where there's lots of costs. So we have materials, we have yeah, I think income and costs.
Okay, it is the balance sheet.
I did marketing with balance sheet. Yes, balance sheet. So that would be the assets and the liabilities, assets, liabilities, and because you have to make it balance. The equity, or the owner's equity to make it balance. So I think those are the 3. So you have all the liabilities to customers, to various loans, that kind of thing. The assets, the fixed assets, the company, the buildings if we had them, stock, and the liquid assets, and then the owner's equity, which helps you balance the account. I think that's the balance sheet.
Okay, thank you very much. And we've come to the end of the test, and that's it. So thank you, and you may leave the room now.
Okay, did I do well? Did I pass?
I'm sorry. The results will be in the grade book, and you will know when.
Can't you tell me? Did I get a B or?
end of the test. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Nick started off the answer to this question badly. It was obvious he was talking about something else, not the balance sheet. So I let him talk a little bit, and when he had nothing else, at an appropriate point in his response, I prompted him, without rephrasing the question, just an emphasis on the word balance sheet. And again, that helped the student to think about balance, and you could see that jogged something in the memory, and then he went on to talk about balance, and you mentioned about the components of the balance sheet. It was a good answer, but not exceptional, because there were very few illustrations, if at all, and was able to distinguish between assets and liabilities and owner's equity reasonably well. So that would be a score of 3 rather than a 4.